In this Power City weekly live stream, we're going to be getting into the latest in the Power City ecosystem and crypto itself with my co-host, no other than Mr. Just Ask Jesse in the house.
Hey, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great day today.
Good to see you, man. Good to see you this week. Another week in crypto. I think we've seen a little bit of green again. As we talked about last week, crypto goes up, crypto goes down. It's nice to see Bitcoin kind of surging past 60,000. And I saw an interesting metric that the overall TVL in DeFi has reached a 1 month high compared to last month. So I guess that's crypto, Bitcoin going up, Ethereum going up, DeFi TVL going up is somewhat bullish, no?
Correct. Somewhat bullish. You know, a lot of this stuff is tied to interest rates, I think. And it's really an easy concept. Big money likes to park their money in the banks when interest rates are high. Now, consumers don't like high interest rates if they're taking loans and stuff, right? You know, high credit card rates, or if you get a home loan, you know, the rates are high. But when the rates get reduced, when those rates are high, you've got investors who have put their money in the banks who are in like certificates of deposit, for example, and they're getting 5, sometimes over 5% interest just for parking their money. And remember, that's insured. That's FDIC insured in the United States, for example. It's very safe, and you can get a pretty good return on your cash. And that's where big money likes to go when interest rates are high. Consumers don't like it. Investors who have money, who are making money off of the consumers, they like it. Okay. Now, when interest rates get reduced, all the consumers start getting all excited, and they're like, "Oh, my auto loans can be cheaper. My home loans can be cheaper." So they have more income from their jobs that they're able to put into crypto. So that's one thing. But then the investors also don't like those low interest rates, and they say, "Ooh, let me shift my assets to something a little bit more risky," right? If they were in a CD that was earning 5%, now it's only earning 2 or 3%, they'll take their money out of the banks and they'll say, "Well, I'll park it in crypto." Sometimes in relatively safe protocols such as Curve, Convex, liquidity providing stables. Many of these things you could do on Pulse Chain, by the way. But then they earn a better yield in crypto. So you start seeing a lot of that big money that used to be in the banks start flowing into crypto, so those big investors can keep making the money that they like to make. And the little guys who aren't dishing out as much of their weekly or monthly or biweekly paychecks or whatever, they're also able to come into crypto. So as soon as those rates go down, you see a flow of money start flowing into things like crypto and stocks. Rates go down, crypto goes up. Rates go up at the banks, crypto goes down, right? And it's nearly always correlated that way.
Yeah, like you said, I mean, getting 5% in the bank is obviously good for people that are sitting on cash, right? But that's still nothing compared to DeFi protocols where you're looking at double digits and up.
Correct.
Talking about TVL, that TVL metric, obviously there's a TVL for our protocols like Flex, let me share that now, or the Earn protocol. And some people, I've heard some questions asking about why is that changing, obviously fluctuating depending on what's going on with the market. Maybe we can extrapolate on that a little bit today.
Yeah, sure. So let's see. Right now, you see a total value locked in Flex protocol, Hex, $3.74 million worth of Hex. What does that mean? That means that 443 million Hex, or $3.74 million worth, has been locked up in the vaults as the collateral to mint stable coins. Now, as the value of Hex goes up, which we've seen recently, that number goes up, right? So that number used to be like 1.5 million, right? Hex like kind of doubled over the last couple of weeks or month or whatever. Now it's sitting at 3.74. If Hex continues to go up, you'll see that TVL go up just because of the value of the underlying asset. Now, another thing that makes it go up is more Hex put in there. So if the current people in the vaults just bring more in, the total value locked will go up. If new people start piling in, then they're obviously adding some more coins into the protocol. The total value locked goes up.
And let's not forget, just above that, we can see HexDC sitting at a hair over $1, as always.
Yeah, that's negligible, 0.00022. So what keeps a stable coin stable is that it's redeemable for $1 worth of its collateral somewhere. When you trade a crypto on either PulseX or on Uniswap or on PHUX, what happens is the ratio between the two things you're trading changes, and the value essentially changes because of that. But why does a stable coin always bounce back to $1? That's because when it's cheap on swapping platforms such as PulseX, people like to buy it because they can immediately redeem it for $8 worth of something. So if I saw something that was 90 cents and I knew I could buy that at 90 cents and immediately I can redeem it for $1, okay, of course I'm going to do that. And the act of doing that enough or at the right amount brings the stablecoin right back to $1. Now, because these liquidity forks are over collateralized, the value is always backing the tokens. This ability to do this always exists. There's never a point in time where there's less value of collateral than what has to be there to back all the stable coins that are out there. Redemptions also can never be turned off. So because of those two things, because there's always a redeemability back to $1, and because the collateral is always available there to be able to do that, when the prices of a stable coin on an exchange fluctuate, it's only momentarily because they'll bounce right back because people redeem it for $1 somewhere else. And the act of buying it at a discount drives the value back up. They'll stop buying it when it gets back to $1 because it doesn't make sense to pay more than $1 for it. In most cases, it doesn't make sense to pay, say, $1.01 or $1.02 for a stable coin. And in those cases, there's other things you can do. You can sell it. You can wait for it to go up just a little bit higher, and you can take a loan out and then sell that loan. And there's complex things you can do to repeg it back from over $1 down to $1. But it's very rare that you'll see a stable coin go too much higher than $1. The protocols that you do see that, though, are liquidity forks. You don't see that with USDC. You don't see that with DAI. You don't see that with Frax. You don't see that with anything else. You do tend to see liquidity forks climb up over $1 from time to time because it is a very safe, over-collateralized system when some of those other systems might be a little bit more towards the risky side. So as people are flowing in trying to buy what they consider to be a safe stable coin, the value goes up. And if it goes up over $1, there's other mechanisms to bring it back down to repeg it down towards $1. But nobody complains about a stable coin that's worth more than $1, right? Nobody complains about that.
And nobody complains about having more money. It kind of is interesting, though, that there is, still a percentage of people, or a small percentage anyway, in crypto that don't do their research on stable coins, and they just think a stable coin is a stable coin, right? And obviously, there are stable coins that aren't backed by anything apart from people thinking there's going to be something backing it. But if everyone, started selling, someone's going to be left holding the bag, correct?
Mm-hmm. Under collateralized stablecoins, so stablecoins that do not have the full value backing every single coin that has been minted into existence. Imagine this: somebody comes along and they dump some. What would make me feel comfortable buying a discounted stablecoin if I was unable to redeem it? So if I saw an under collateralized system where the backing was not even there, and let's say the token went down to 50 cents, why would I buy it at 50 cents if I didn't have an ability to immediately extract $1 out of the system for it, right? So what happens is people just don't do it. So you end up having way more sellers than buyers. Now, something else to consider is it's just a bad way to do business to be able to mint stable coins with no backing, or mint a coin with no backing. To mint something and say, hey, this is supposed to be worth $1, but there's not actually anything making it peg back to $1. There's no redemption mechanisms. There's no promises, but this thing's supposed to be $1, and just mint these things into existence. So now you're holding something that you hope is going to be worth $1, but there's no real mechanisms to get it there. Remember, all that value has to be in place for those redemptions to keep it stable. And in some cases, like in the event of forks, where the whole system state copies over, if you're talking about like billions and billions of stablecoins, well, guess what? There's no longer billions and billions of actual dollars or dollar value of something backing those things. Billions and billions of dollars, right? There's no way to put it in. There's no mechanism to add to somebody else's vault. Think of this. If I had a vault, a maker vault or a liquidity vault, and I had a loan out and I had some stables, but I had the collateral backing it on the Ethereum network. All right. I put in the collateral. I minted some stable coins. Now, let's say a new blockchain happens and the whole system state is forked. And I now own those assets on this other blockchain. But the collateral is no longer worth the same thing. Okay. It's worth fractions of a penny. That is still my vault. It's still attached to, I'm the only one who's authorized to sign on that address. Okay. It still belongs to my wallet. All right. The only person that could add collateral is me. Right. Richard Hart can't come in and add collateral to my vault or the hundreds or thousands of other people's vaults. It's not possible. He doesn't have their seed phrases. Right. It's impossible. He could come in and create his own vault, but no matter what you do, you still have thousands and thousands of vaults that are under collateralized, and those people aren't going to say, oh, look at my under collateralized vaults. Let me just bring in hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars into my vault and throw it in there to try and raise my collateral health. Nobody's going to do that. There's no incentive to do that. It's extremely, extremely risky. And all for the hopes that you're going to assist in trying to create a system that's over collateralized, but thousands and thousands of people have to be on board and all their individual vaults to be able to do that. It's an impossible ask. Not to mention the oracles, which are off chain, they're not even talking to the correct network, and there's thousands of reporters with their computer setups that are reporting the prices of ETH. They all have to be on board also, and then start remake some of their software, some of which is immutable, by the way, and unchangeable. But even if there was a way to change some of their software and point it towards Pulse Chain or something, you'd have to have all those various reporters, or there's people who are, remember, there's always people willing to dispute, okay, who could just halt the process. Like, it's a million things saying it's impossible. And the only thing keeping people going is hopes and dreams that all of these thousands of stars will align so that they can get rich off of the back of somebody else. Yeah. Right. I'll tell you what, though, these other things are not stable coins. They're 100% speculative meme coins.
Well, unfortunately, as we know, the people that are going to be screaming the loudest that this is, or whatever, XYZ stablecoin is the stablecoin to get into, and you're going to become a billionaire, are most likely holding a huge or a sizable portion, right? And
absolutely. You're going to have people that have billions of these things that they picked up for a few $100 or a few $1,000 for the Pulse or whatever. And those people, sure, they desperately want these things to go to $1, right? So they'll lie to you. They'll tell you it's possible. They'll tell you Richard Hart's doing it. they'll tell you tons of different things to make you buy their meme coin up so that they can sell on you. And here's the beauty of a stable coin, a real stable coin that has the collateral backing. A real stable coin that has the collateral backing it. I don't care if somebody sells. I don't care. I have no worry if people are going to buy it or if people are going to sell it. I know that it's always worth $1 somewhere. I can click a redeem button if I have to, or I can just go swap it if I want to, right? It's always worth $1. I can sleep at night, right? There's no hopes and dreams in it. It's just worth $1 because of how the mechanism works.
Yeah, if you see people screaming that this is the next best thing, I think there's a saying in Latin, cui bono. It means who benefits from it, right? So that's a good, that could be your antenna for who's benefiting. If someone's screaming that this next thing is the only thing to get into, then most likely they're holding quite a sizable chunk.
And who benefits from these stable coins? Let's talk about that for a second, because people are like, oh, why would I invest in something that never goes up? I want to make money. Well, there's a few reasons why you might get involved in a protocol like this. For one, you might not want to sell your Pulse X or your Hex, or in the case of liquid loans, which we have a front end for, your Pulse. You might not want to sell that stuff, but you might want to put that value to work for you, right? So now you have a way to just lock that stuff up, mint some stable coins, and then earn a yield off of that stable coin without having to sell the thing that you like. The more people that do that, the more the value might go up, right? Because less people are selling. Another reason, we want Pulse Chain, look at the grand picture here, right? We want Pulse Chain to be wildly successful. We don't want it just 100% riding off the back of Ethereum price movement or Bitcoin price movement, or the hopes and dreams that some guy like Richard Hart is just going to start buying up the price for everybody. A few people, if he did that, a few people would dump and get rich. Not everybody can. Okay. Not everybody can get rich. Now, a lot of people have already left Pulse Chain, so more people have a chance now, but not everybody can. What we really want, though, is mass adoption. We want people to come over to Pulse Chain because it's cheap, it's pretty fast, and there's some cool things to do on it. And in our opinion, being able to be self-sustaining with your own native stablecoin that's not reliant on Ethereum network, that's not reliant on any stablecoin that's over on Ethereum. You've created your own stablecoins inside of your own blockchain, backed by the value that's already there. Okay, you just created something that a lot of blockchains haven't done. Think of it this way. Yes, you'll always find USDC and DAI bridged into a blockchain. You can go to Binance Smart Chain, you're going to find USDC and it's been bridged over there. You can go over to Matic Chain, guess what? The USDC over there has been bridged over there. The DAI over there has been bridged over there. And you find that on Pulse Chain too. But having that and having your own native stable coins just makes the ecosystem way stronger and maybe even better than some of these other blockchains. That's the bigger picture of this. So the more people that participate in these things, let's recap. There's less selling, okay, because people are just locking things up, putting their value to work without having to sell their coins to do it. You have an ecosystem that's a little more self-sustaining because you're minting your own stable coins instead of having to be reliant on others. And it just gives more things for people to do on the chain. People come over here because there's things that are entertaining to them that they feel that they can make some money on. You can absolutely make money inside of Earn Protocol, inside of Flex Protocol, inside of Liquid Loans using the amplifier. There's absolutely money to be made, right? You can participate in the stability pool. You can earn a yield of tokens, which you can sell or you can go stake those for the fees. Okay? People like that sort of thing. And the more people that hear about these things, the more the value goes up, the bigger the ecosystem gets, the more stable coins are natively minted on the chain. In an ideal world, we'd like to see just 50, 100, 500 million stable coins minted in each of these protocols. Right? There's plenty of that value on Pulse Chain. It would be nice if one of those giant whales comes along and says, you know what, I'm holding a bunch of this Pulse or PulseX or Hex. Might as well drop it in a vault, mint some stable coins at whatever collateral ratio you'd like to. And maybe that guy puts some of that to work. Maybe he goes and liquidity provides with some of it. He earns a yield by liquidity providing some of those stable coins back to back to the bridged-in ones, DAI, USDC, whatever, right? And he can earn a yield off of his value instead of just parking on his Pulse or PulseX or Hex. Now he can put it to work by minting stables and then doing things with those stables. It's a very simple concept, but people need to hear it more and more and more. These protocols have been around for a long time on the Ethereum network, for years now. And they've also now been around for a long time on Pulse Chain. We're coming up now on a year for that liquid loans protocol, for an example. It's never been hacked, exploited, none of that. Okay. Same with Earn protocol, same with Flex protocol. Right? These things are safe. They're audited. The code is public. Anybody can run a front end for them. They're trustless, immutable, all these things, right? So I think the focus should be educating people how these things work.
Yeah. And as you can see on the screen now, our latest DApp, which is the Amplify Yield Compounder for liquid loans. This is live on the mainnet for liquid loans. So you can use this as a basic front end, or you can use it to automate your DeFi yield. There's 4 preset strategies, or you can customize your own strategy and do what you want via the stability pool, the staking pool, and having things in automation. And that's coming soon, obviously, for Earn, and then after that for Flex as well. So we've got more stuff coming down the pipe. Obviously, we have Pixel Park as well, our NFT marketplace coming down the pipe. We're still building here. You know, Pulse Chain is just like everything, right? In the bear market, it's seen a decrease in volume and people, you know, trading and what's not. But obviously, fingers crossed, when the bull market returns, we see more people flow back into it. And the fact that we've been building and others have been building as well, there's more protocols here to attract people, which are audited, which are safe. I just saw an article recently that on the base blockchain, a DeFi project popped up, a staking project, you know, got a sizable TVL and then just rugged and closed down all its social media accounts as well. So that wasn't an audited project. So make sure you understand what you're getting into, where you're parking your money. You know, make sure it's audited. You know, do your research, do your due diligence before parting with your crypto or stable coins or whatever. But I think that's a good place to wrap it up there, Jesse, today. Anything else you want to say before we call it a day?
Nope. I hope everyone enjoys their week, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, man. We'll see you next week. Thanks for watching, guys. And if you want to check out any of our live dApps, you can find the links below in the description box. Thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.